I think truly when people say laughter is the best medicine, I really mean it. Like, I love laughing as one of my favorite things to do. If I
Same.
can laugh. So I'm so happy that you're going to be a comedian, because this way I can always be around laughter.
That's good.
I love it. And I'm glad I can be the source of your laughter sometimes, because I know, I'm not, you're the funny one.
A lot
But
of
the fact that I can show up on your For You page.
You don't intentionally mean to be funny, but then it's like hilarious.
I don't. I'm just like seriously trying to do the belly dance. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Helen.
Oh my gosh. Hello. Today is funny already. I can see it. I can see it by the look on your face.
Well, I'm having a rough day. I've already cried 3 times today.
I don't understand. Why?
I don't know. I have to leave tomorrow, and I feel like I'm having one of those days where, one, I'm running out of time to do all the things that I need to do. Like, how is it already like the afternoon? I've only accomplished like a few things, work-wise, life-wise, and then customer service is killing me at these places. I'm having a rough go of trying to get my money back on some things, because I had to cancel a class because of my broken toe. I like booked the class, then realized I probably can't do the exercises for Pilates with a broken toe. So I was like, I'm just going to cancel. I'll eat the late fee. It's like $14. And then I got charged by ClassPass and the studio. So I paid $34 for a class I didn't go to, because they both charged cancellation fees. And they were both saying that I need to talk to the other one about refunds.
Oh, no. That's debilitating sometimes when you're like stuck in a loop like that. I feel your pain.
Yeah. So that's just really annoying. And I have a lot to do. And I'm stressed about work and monetizing and all the things.
I know. Well, we all, whatever. We're not gonna focus on the negativity today. We're gonna try and spin things around, because I gotta tell you, 2 minutes before we started recording, you were gonna go into some funny tear, and I said, "Stop talking. Let's wait till we record."
Well, you cut me off.
I cut you off so quickly, because we traveled about, like, we were talking about some work stuff, and then the next thing you know, boom, you were being funny. So I'm like, stop. I refuse to waste your humor on a non-recording.
Thanks.
So for today, I'm going to ask you I know we love doing the questions. At least the questioned episode to me opens up conversations we weren't going to have initially. Like, we don't know the conversation until we have the question. So before I dive into the questions, what were you going to tell me this morning?
Well, no, because Steve and I, we listened to a bunch of podcasts where they ask good questions. So I was thinking one of the questions he had told me, and then I was going to tell you what the answer was to that question. And then you're like, no, let me record. So
Okay.
I could kick it off with the first question. This is stolen from another podcast that we listen to a lot, but the question was, what is the hardest? When was the hardest you've ever laughed?
Okay.
And I was going to say recently, well, before Steven entered, said, wait, I was going to say one of the hardest I've ever laughed, I feel like with you specifically, is the Apple Watch fiasco in Park City, where I was
That's exactly the one I was going to say.
I was wearing my Apple Watch, and I had just gotten it, so I was really into closing my activity rings, and even though I wore it all day, I still had to get my last stand hour goal. And I was laying in bed, I was about to go to sleep, and I was like,
right.
oh, I'm not
we
gonna
were skied all day. We were tired.
I was tired. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to close my rings. This sucks. And then you went, give it to me. And then you take the watch and you start doing jumping jacks and squats, and you start running in place.
I know. And there was no substances, we didn't have any cocktails or anything, but it was the funniest and the hardest I've laughed. I will always call that up as one of the hardest I've laughed as well.
And then Steven interjected, because recently we have been seeing your dancing TikToks. And we get them. They come up on our feed at 11 p.m. We might have been having a little drink or a little gummy, so things are funny, and we get you doing belly dancing. That was the recent one that absolutely killed me.
I didn't mean for it to be belly dancing, but anyway.
You
Because
didn't mean for it to be belly dancing. You're like, ooh.
I don't know. Sometimes I just see these trends and I'm like, I'm gonna try this, and I don't know. I know that I
I'm
got
gonna
you guys
try
when I did
this.
this when I do the flying one. When I did the flying trend, and you were
That
like
one
cracking up.
killed me.
And
I was gonna
because I
say
just had it.
one other moment that it was like very hard laughter with you specifically is when we were in Minnesota and the shirt change trend was going around with the champion t-shirts, all the different member, and you taught the tutorial on how to do this transition video, and then someone did the video, and we had seen it like a few days earlier, something like, oh, this poor woman tried to do this trend, and then it had like thousands, it was going viral, it had like half a million views, and we were both dying.
Oh my God, she was so great. She was so great. But it was funny because at the time we were like, aw, little sweet person tried to do this trend. And then her video had more views than mine. And then I kept saying, look at this video, because it kept showing up on my page, and it kept showing up with like hundreds of thousands of views. Oh my God, we laughed so hard. We laughed so hard. Yeah, laughter is, I love when something can tickle my funny bone, and sometimes it will come back and I'll laugh multiple times during the day. Like later on, it'll come back to me again. I think truly when people say laughter is the best medicine, I really mean it. Like I love laughing as one of my favorite things to do. If I can laugh. So I'm so happy that you're going to be a comedian, because this way I can always be around laughter.
That's good.
I love it. And I'm glad I can be the source of your laughter sometimes, because I know, I'm not, you're the funny one.
A lot
but
of
the fact
time.
the fact that I can show up on your For You page.
You don't intentionally mean to be funny, but then it's like hilarious.
I don't. I'm just like seriously trying to do the belly dance.
No, the other day after the last podcast, Steven was starting to edit it today, but I told him after that podcast, I was like, oh, there were some moments on that one. And it's the one where we're talking about your trip to Croatia and doing a catch up. And I told him, I was like, Helen had one line where she went, I don't like history, but I do love a fun fact.
You're like, fun facts are history. Oh my God. So funny.
That's going into a bit.
Okay. It's going to be in a teaser. I'm very happy. I mean, some of the things, oh my goodness. I love a good I love a good laugh, I'm telling you. And I like to be the source of it, because sometimes I don't mean to be funny, and I'm very happy that I can make you laugh even with my stupidity of trying to do something seriously. I seriously wanted to do that. I know it's a belly dancing trend, and I know it was all over with the people, but I had put on this white skirt, and it reminded me, 'cause didn't the girl first did it, she had a white skirt?
We are on different sides of the internet. I didn't even know what trend that was.
Really? And you, no wonder why.
I see these things and I'm like, what the fuck is she watching?
Did you see the head spinning one that I did?
Oh,
today?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did you know that was a trend or no?
I saw that one on one other video before.
Oh my God. I know. I love to be the surprise on your For You page. So bring it on. Bring it on.
We are.
So this brings us to my first question, which is very
let's just
appropriate.
alternate asking questions.
Okay, go ahead. You want to ask me one?
Well, I just asked the hardest we ever left, so now yes, go, and then I'll go after you.
Okay, good. So my next question was going to be, what is something annoying that I do or say consistently that annoys you?
If I lose something and you go, it didn't just grow legs and walk away.
I do say that, and because I try and talk myself into that, like, all right, because it's helped me in life to know that, okay, something's not gone. I just can't find it in this moment. It hasn't left the building. So I thought it was helpful to tell you that as a child.
I'm always like, I know it didn't grow legs. I know it's not going to animate like Toy Story.
Oh boy. We try. You know what I figured out that, what?
Did you want to say the thing about the questions about answering them that Tommy was saying?
Oh, I do. Wait. Okay. Here's a fun fact. So Tommy was here this weekend, And he was listening to the question episode, which is what prompted me to want to do another question episode. Because when he was listening to it, he kept pausing it when I would ask the question. And he was answering it first before he heard your answer to see if his answers would be like your answers. So I thought that was really funny because he was using it as an exercise to see if your answers would be the same. And he said on the one where I asked, how do you feel around me? And he paused it and he said the word comfortable. And then when he unpaused it, you said the same word. And I even told him this. I never would have thought that would be the word that you would have come up with. I don't know why, but that was a surprise to me. And the fact that both of you came up with it. So I wanted to say that. The other thing I wanted to say is we were talking about the CD that I gave him for Valentine's Day. Remember when I was saying that each person? Okay. He corrected me. The CD was not Green Day. It was Blink 182. And as soon as he said it, I was like, yes, of course. I don't know how I forgot that because that was such the CD of the moment, the music that he was listening to. And I'm like so mad that I got that wrong, but such is life. I don't know why I put Green Day out there, but I just wanted to correct the record, correct the record as it stands. It was Blink 182, much more probably explicit than Green Day anyway, because their music was way more aggressive. So I just thought that was funny.
But if you want to answer the questions as you're listening, that was what I was trying to get at.
Oh, if
to people listening, if they want
to people listening.
Whenever I listen to podcasts, Steven and I will listen to podcasts in the car, and sometimes I'll pause it when they do questions like this, and then we.
Oh.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, very good. Well, that's good. All right. So let's play along, everyone. Let's play along.
All right.
Can I just respond to the annoying one first? Because you did the annoying thing. Wait, I just want to tell you what my mother, I want to say what the most annoying thing that I realized recently that my mother used to say. She said a lot of annoying things. There's not just one. But the one that came to me recently that I forgot about was if I would like get hurt or stub my toe or do something, she would always be like, God punished you. Like that was her line. God punished you because you were talking back to me. Anytime, like if we were not acting according to her wishes or whatever, she would say, if we got hurt or something, that God punished you. Anyway, that was just one of her annoying things that I had to sing. I completely forgot about it until it happened recently where I was doing something and I hurt myself and I'm like, ugh, God punished me. You know what I mean? Because I was like, anyway, I just thought it was funny.
Is there something annoying that I say?
Oh, I don't know. No, I mean, there probably is, but I need more time to think of it. Next time you say it, I'll think of it. Be
like, oh, that's what I don't like.
Okay, I'll come back to you on that one when it comes up. I want to defer my answer to another episode when it happens, and then I can write it down and remember. Okay, carry on.
Great.
What's the next question?
What is your earliest memory?
Okay, I got it. It's like, this is a no-brainer. My very, very earliest memory, I was very young. I had to be like 3 years old, maybe even younger. And my mom, when I was 18 months old, for context, my mom had twins. So she had two babies, essentially. And I was still a baby, I think, at 18 months old. I was still a baby. I mean, one would think I was a baby, except then babies came in and they were even smaller. But I remember wanting to be a mom with my own baby in my own house. So and I used to dream about it. I wanted to have my own house in the backyard, like a little playhouse, because we didn't have the advantage of having a playhouse back there. But I used to imagine that I would have my own house with my own baby. And I knew that I wanted to be a mom. Like that is my very earliest memory.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for real. That's why people like, how did you know you wanted to be a mom? I know since I'm like 2 or 3 years old. When I was a baby, I wanted to be a mom. Crazy. Because I was probably jealous of her being a mom and having these other babies, and I wanted my own baby. I don't know.
That's wild.
Did you know that? Did I never tell you that?
No.
Oh, I like when we learn things about each other here in real time. Yeah. Big, very core memory.
Wow.
What about your earliest memory?
I feel like I kind of have like two that I can't like I feel like I have a very faint memory of like driving up to the Chatham house. Like when it was still like I don't know, like sitting in the back seat and like being in the middle seat and looking through the window and seeing like the house.
Oh, wow. Because you were only 3 when we moved there, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was also a very
Yeah.
early memory.
But then my other really early memory was watching 9/11 coverage with Sita.
Okay. Oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy. For context, Sita was the babysitter. Sita's the babysitter, we should say. But oh my God. Did you
Isn't that
know,
crazy?
do you have any memories of like knowing, oh, where's my mom right now? Like, where's my dad? Where we were in the city, or not even
I
processing
don't
that
know.
part?
I don't think I registered, but I just remember sitting on the couch and she was like watching it and like very concerned, obviously, and I probably didn't register why.
Oh, do you remember an early memory of watching the Olympics with me late one night, and
Yeah.
something happened? Oh, that was, you maybe
I
a
had
little
diarrhea.
older, but still, I didn't want to say it. Yes, you had diarrhea, and then you had like a disaster or something happened. Did it happen in the bed or something? I don't know, but I had to get you out of bed, and then
I just
No?
like didn't want to. I don't think it did.
You had a stomach ache? I don't remember specifics. But I
don't
just
know.
remember saying, oh, you can stay up and watch this. And we watched, I want to say it was Tanya Harding or one of those from that era that won the medal. And it was really exciting because you were up with me. And it was just the two of us watching it. Aw, that was a good memory.
Aw. My early irritable stomach.
Oh, early stomach issues. They started very young. Who knew? Tommy also had milk lactose issues when he was young. Who knew? We just were powering through. We didn't know
We
there
were
was
powering through
things
even though we were having digestive tract issues.
Yes.
Just like, that's normal.
I was powering. Listen, we didn't know about those things. We just powered through. Like, it's going to be a phase. We'll get through it.
Okay.
I don't know. Parenting. So that was going to be like, what would you change in parenting that I didn't do? But I'm not going to ask you that one right now. If you could change something about yourself, what would you change?
I'll take it in a funny direction. I wish I was taller.
Okay. That's a good one.
Something I absolutely cannot change about myself. I was thinking about the other day. It's like, especially when the Olympics come around, I'm like, damn, I wish I was taller. I would have been like a professional volleyball player. You know, like that's what I think when it's like the other life that could have been, but literally could not be.
Yes. Even if you were a digger, you're too short for the back row.
I am. I'm too short for professional.
Aw. Okay.
What about you?
This is going to be so basic, but it goes back to when I was younger and I was like bewitched, and I used to imagine if I could wiggle my nose and change something about myself, what would it be? Do you know what it is?
Your hair.
Yes. I wish that I would have straight hair. Now, granted,
I
am able to have straight.
Look at you now.
Look at me now. The funny thing is now I can have straight hair, but that's still by design. That's not by genetics. That's by, I straighten it. So that's where I am. So I made it happen. God damn it. Much to my parents' dismay. I love your curls. I know a lot of people like my hair curly, but you know what? I've wanted straight hair my whole life, and now I can have it. So that's that.
Okay.
Do you have a question?
Something you wish you knew 10 years ago, but know now.
What would I wish I knew 10 years ago?
That you know now.
I wish that I knew. Oh my God, this is too hard. Let me just pick a subject matter to stick it on. So let me say, go into the social media zone. I wish that I knew that social media was going to be what it is, because I would have gotten in the game and taken it seriously much sooner, because I really think I could have been like mega successful in that realm if I would have embraced it sooner. And now I'm loving it and it's fun. And I'm not going to say, how do you define success? It doesn't necessarily mean numbers or money or anything like that. But I just think that I was, even though I was early amongst other people, I was late in the big picture of social media. What about you?
I feel like mine should be comedy related because.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then it would be start doing stand-up comedy.
If money were no object, what would you do with your life? Like, if you didn't have to think, I'm going to put it out there. Like, I want to do stand-up comedy because hopefully I'll be successful and I'll make money at it, or social media or whatever it is. If money was not in the picture, like you didn't need to make money, what would you want to do with your life?
Travel.
Okay.
And probably still do comedy.
Okay. I like that. That's important. Because I think that the thing that we all need is purpose. And so one could say, oh, I'm going to travel. But then what is going to give you purpose? Because travel isn't really going to give you purpose unless you decide I'm going to travel and I'm going to share my travel knowledge.
Then I would probably still do comedy. What about you?
I think that I would still, oh gosh, I like everything that I'm doing. So it's a really hard one to say. I wouldn't do this because everything that I'm doing right now I really enjoy. But if I didn't have to make a living at it, I think I really would focus more on the teaching and the like content sharing and teaching. Like I like the mentorship part of what I'm doing now. And if I can make really great money at it, I would only do that at this point. But because
Yeah.
that's not how that's going right now. I just think that I enjoy it. I like when someone gets it. I love when I sit with Megan and we're at lunch and I'm showing her something on CapCut and it hits and it clicks and she's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yes, right?" I get so excited when someone gets it. It just gets me excited. So that's what I think I should be doing.
Nice.
What about you?
Well, I said I like to do comedy.
Oh, you said comedy. Okay, right. We did that already.
I still like writing. I think I would still write, or I don't know. I really enjoy doing comedy. So I think that would be the one.
So you like entertaining in a way. Like I like educating and you like entertaining. So that like if we put it into two basic categories, I kind of like that conceptually. All right. Do you have another question or do you want? All right.
You can do another one.
Where would you want to live if family circumstances had no impact? Like if you didn't want to have to say, "Oh, I need to be I want to be somewhat near this, that, or the other," or whatever. Like where would you want to live if you had no attachments at all and you could live anywhere?
Somewhere near the beach. So I'm either going to say, because we always, whenever we go here, somewhere like I love when we go to like Manhattan Beach or one of the Huntington Beach, like, or Hermosa, whenever we go down there, just like near the beach, one of those houses, like right there.
Nice. Okay.
Or like Australia.
Oh, I was going to say Australia. Okay. So my answer was actually going to be Bondi Beach, Australia, which I think is funny that you came up with it too. If there was no attachments, I just felt like there was so much about the lifestyle in Australia that I like. There's the vibes, the people, the quality of the beaches. I do really, I think that would be a cool place. I mean, if I'm barring New York City as an option, because I'm not going to say because I don't think New York City would be enough of feeding the rest of the things I need in terms of nature and like that.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Australia too, but if it had to be like within the United States,
right?
Then yeah, like a nice mansion in Newport Beach.
Nice. I like it. I think that would work for me too. I've got no issues with that.
I think it would too. Works. I think you would all vibe with the Southern California lifestyle.
I think we would.
I know you would.
But I think when I traveled there for work, a lot of the times I used to think I would love to live here for a period of time. And because I couldn't even think of that as a consideration, given my I don't know, maybe my upbringing or whatever, I never considered it. So yeah, I can see why you love it. I can absolutely see why you love it. And Tommy and Jenna, like, they love the country. They like the Catskill vibes. And I can see why they do, because that really suits them. Like being up there in nature. And
like, it doesn't surprise me. But at the same time, Tommy was such like a surfer bro. So then it confuses me.
Yes. And he was just talking about getting one of those, the thing that floats, the hydrofoil or something. But then he was thinking about using it on the river. What is the thing where it's like a surfboard, but it like lifts up off the...
I don't know what those are called.
I want to say like a hydrofoil or something. He was just talking about getting one of those. But see, that would still work, because even though he's in the Catskills, he's on a river. He's in a river house, so he is waterfront still. Not the same.
But like a river versus a beach.
It is different.
It's a little different. I'm saying it's still water. It's just a little different.
Yeah,
love you, Tommy.
It is different. We do love you. All right, let's think. Any other questions?
If you could have dinner with anyone in the world, any historical figure, celebrity, alive or dead.
I'm going to go with what I used to say to this question, because I haven't really thought about it much more recently. But I used to really want to meet Goldie Hawn, because one time I heard her speak, and because she seemed like, she's like comes off ditzy as an actress, and those are the roles she always played. And then I saw her speak once, and I loved her brain and her intelligence and her vibe and all of that. And so I kind of would love to meet her. She would be somebody that I would be intrigued by meeting. I don't know. And what's funny is one time we were going to a show at the Irish Repertory Theater, Dad and I, right around the corner from where we live in the city, and she was there. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, I want to go talk to her, but I couldn't do it. It's a small theater, and I didn't want to be like, hi, I love your work. So close, though. So close.
Mm-hmm.
But she was very covered up. Like, you could see she didn't want to be recognized. She was wearing long bangs, a very hooded coat. It was winter, and she was definitely hiding herself. So I didn't want to intrude on her privacy.
That makes sense.
What about you? Who would you want to meet?
I asked this question and then I didn't have an answer. Like, I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not like Barack Obama or something? How cool would it be to meet him? Like, that'd be fun. Michelle Obama.
I know. I was going to say
let's
Michelle.
Let's meet Michelle Obama. She might be somebody that I'd choose now.
Oh my God. I was listening. I don't remember where this was. What comedy special thing? We were listening to some comedy thing, and they were talking about how Barack went gray when he was in the White House, not because he was the president, but because he had teenage daughters.
Oh, that's hysterical. First of all, his voice is so soothing, and his the two of them, I don't know, that two of them as a couple, I don't know. It was that would be fun.
I was gonna say my other option maybe was like Tina Fey, like someone like.
Oh yeah, fun. That's a good one. If you could tell your 21-year-old self something, what advice would you give it to? Like, you were coming out of college, what advice would you give? This is not to say, it's not like the 10 years advice. It's more like, talk to your 21-year-old self, and what advice would you give?
Oh, I would just say just keep going and put blinders on to comparing myself to other people.
Oh, yeah.
What about you?
I have an answer to this one because I've answered this recently in a podcast, and I have the same answer, which is I would tell myself, you're not fat, because the obsession with that, and when I was in my 20s, was real. I mean, that was like such a thing, being skinny and being thin. And so at that skinny part of my life, felt fat. And it's like so annoying that I can't look back and tell myself, bitch, you're thin and you look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish that I could give myself that advice. And that's why I'm really trying hard to take that advice now, as if I'm 10 years older, looking back at myself, because I think it can apply to any decade. Just like I could look back at in my 50s and think, like, I made that TikTok about how I don't like my arms, and I'm like, oh, why did my arms look fine? What didn't I like about them? They're only going to get older. So we judge ourselves so harshly, and it's so unfortunate. So I'm always trying to really, really make an effort to think of myself ahead and looking back, and what would I say to myself? So when I made the little belly dancing TikTok, I wasn't showing my belly. Let's be clear on this. I should put it in the show notes because people need to see it. But it's a trend where this girl in a little white skirt does this the song is Alibi, and she does like a belly dance. Okay. So I had this white skirt, and I'm like, oh, I should do the alibi trend. So I had a shirt on that went down to the waist. But then when I did the belly dance and I lifted up my arm, it went up on the side, and somebody made a comment, you're showing skin. I'm like, I almost did it over, but it was so good. The transition was so good. I didn't want to do it over.
So good.
So there's like a little like a quarter of an inch of skin that came up when I lifted up my arm. I always wanted to belly dance. That was one of my, oh, you know that though. From the time that
I know that's in my material. It's in a bit. Because
it's in a bit.
It's in a bit.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the interesting thing about the you're not fat thing. Because you're not. It is really like I have a similar thing, but I also read a book a couple years ago that really like snapped me out of like obsessing over my body and my weight. And I feel like it was like very good for myself. Although I still have days when I'm like, oh, I feel so like bloated and I don't feel good about myself. I don't feel confident. But I will say a weird thing has happened where, because I've been going to doctors a lot recently, like I know what my weight is. And I know that for the first time since maybe high school, I weigh the same as I did my freshman year of college. before I gained weight from the freshman 15. Like that.
Oh, wow.
But if you told me that I weigh the same as I did air quotes, that I weigh the same that I did in high school right now, I'd be like, absolutely not. Like I do not feel like it's so strange because I don't weigh myself unless I'm going to the doctor. And I know from last year I've lost almost like 30 pounds in a very natural, healthy way where I'm not even like thinking about it.
Oh my
Like I'm not even thinking about it, which is like so amazing that I've gotten to this point where
That's
it's like
very refreshing.
like 90% of the time I'm not like thinking about, I'm more just, I've been so focused on trying to like heal my gut and do all these things to like heal my body.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
But
that's
like
fantastic.
if you told me that I have the same weight, that's why I put weight in air quotes, because I may weigh the same as I do in high school, but like when I was in high school, I was like a fit little fucking board and I didn't appreciate it.
You didn't appreciate it. It's so annoying. We don't. That's the really unfortunate thing about it. And that's what the things that we should want to tell our younger self is like, gosh, that's what I want to tell young girls. Sometimes I see young girls out and I just want to go up to one of them and say, you are gorgeous, in case you didn't know, because I'll see her, like I'll see a group and I say, oh, this is the friend that doesn't feel confident about herself. And she's comparing herself to her friends. And like, I die to go up to them and say, you're beautiful. Like, just, I hope you know that. Ugh. You know, you just want, but you know, no one can tell you that at
you
that
have
age.
to like get there yourself.
You have to get there. It was so fun seeing Arthur, Ella, Addison, like the cousins this weekend, because Ella and Addie are both now, I mean, Ella's like 20. What is she now? She's 20. She's not 21. Or maybe she's going to be 20. I forget. But she's in the 20. And so I know she's in that phase. And I just want to go, you're freaking gorgeous. Like, do you know it? I mean, anyway. It's just an advantage to be able to look back.
We got some producer notes from not notes, but we got some producer input on some question ideas for us to ask.
Okay, let's go.
So I'm going to ask some of them because they're fun, and then we can end the episode on some fun questions.
Okay, let's go. Thank you, Stephen.
This one is from his friend Michael, and he said, "What was the last movie that made you cry?"
Oh.
Shout out to Michael. Also, most of these questions that I'm about to have are from Michael, from Stephen. So, really from Michael.
All right. So, why don't you answer that one first? So I have a minute.
I feel like every movie makes me cry. Like, I don't know. I'm an easy crier. So, it's just Inside Out.
Oh, my God. Me too. I was crying in that movie.
Yeah.
I just saw it, Inside Out 2. And I was like holding back tears. Disney movies are great for the tears because they just like really make you think. I was talking up that movie at dinner the other night. I was just going off about it. Like, everybody should see that movie, adults, children, the like, because the way they portray the working of your mind is so visually beautiful and is so on point. And now I feel like I have little beings in my mind that are all my personality parts. I kind of like it. Everybody should see that movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it immediately. It's so good. See the 1, see the 2. They're great.
See
all right,
them
what's
both.
another question?
What non-athletic event would you win an Olympic gold medal in? Like a non-athletic, like not a sport, like an everyday activity.
Smiling.
That is so cheesy.
It's the truth. Sometimes people tell me, oh, I saw you running and you were smiling. And I'm like, I was? I think my resting face is smiling sometimes because I don't even know that I'm smiling when I'm running. How does that even make sense? And people will watch my tutorials and go, "That's smile, your smile, your smile." I get so many comments on my smile. And so I think I could win at smiling. You asked me for a weird one.
When I'm running, I'm definitely not smiling.
I know. Not most people aren't.
I feel like I would win a gold medal in like cleaning out a closet.
Oh, yes. You would be
But
good
then
at
I
that.
would lose the medal getting paralyzed halfway through it and being like, I don't know what to do. I'm in too deep. I've overcommitted. Then
That's good.
The gold medal would be revoked.
That's so funny. Those are good questions. What else you got?
If you could swap places with a fictional character, who would it be? Now this one's hard because Helen doesn't read books.
I don't read books. Whatever. Hold on. A fictional character. Oh, brother. I don't know. Why don't you go first? I got to think about it.
It doesn't have to be from a book. It can be from like movies or TV shows. But I know you also, whenever you're watching movies or a TV show, you're also on your laptop.
Yeah, so I'm not fully committed. When I'm watching anything, I'm never fully committed.
Okay, here we go. I got it.
Okay, go.
The mom in the Parent Trap, who's just like a London socialite who designs wedding dresses. That is who
That's
I would
a
want.
good one. I have nothing.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
fine.
We'll come back. I have to let this one go. I have nothing. I don't know who I'd want to switch who would I want to be in a fictional character. I don't know. Goldie Hawn and Overboard. That was so hilarious, but I don't want to be taking care of four boys on a farm or whatever. I don't know.
I feel like we
got
need
nothing.
to end on a good one, but now the last question from Michael was, if you were in the movie Inside Out, who would you cast as your emotions?
Okay. Well, I always said this, and we're back to the same person, but I've always said if there was going to be the story of my life, I would want
let's do
Goldie Hawn
that.
to play me. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
want Goldie Hawn to play me because I've always liked her as a character and her bubbliness and her joyfulness. And so I know we're on a theme.
Who would you cast as the other characters in your life? Like, who would you cast Dad as? And who would you cast, like, Tommy and Jenna as? No.
Okay, let's think. So we'll go with Bruce Willis as the husband.
Okay.
Okay.
Bruce Willis
we're
for
gonna
Tom.
We're going to go with, oh gosh, for Tommy. Jake Schlushper. There's a guy wait. Who's the person? Oh, this is so hard. I would cast Tommy and Jenna as Tommy and Jenna.
No, that's not the question.
I don't know. Okay, then let's see. Tommy and Jenna. I'm gonna go with Amy Schumer as Julie because you need to be funny, and she's funny, so that's a for sure. Tommy would need to be like, oh gosh, not Leonardo DiCaprio, but like one of those. Who would be Tommy in the movie, Tom? Let's get Tom involved in this one. Who would we cast to play Tommy and Jenna in the movie about our life?
They don't have to be a couple in...
Yeah. I love this. They don't have to be a couple in real life. Just who are the two people?
The two actors.
Oh, Justin Timberlake as Tommy?
No, absolutely not.
Julie just vetoed that decision.
Okay, so in the story of our life, you are Goldie Hawn. Dad is Bruce Willis. I am Amy Schumer, I guess. I was also going to say Amy Poehler. That could be a good...
Okay, that's good too. She's funny.
Tommy could be like Ryan Gosling.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes.
That's perfect. I love that.
And Jenna...
I was going to say also Ryan Reynolds because he's funny too, but I think Ryan Gosling is better. But then that brings, who is the one in the Notebook? Because that's Jenna. That's it. Ryan Gosling.
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. Done. Jenna, you are Rachel McAdams. Tommy, you are Ryan Gosling. Perfect. Oh, and then who's who? And we have to cast somebody for Jonathan. Who's going to be Jonathan?
Jonathan would be like Chris Pratt or something, like some like goofball.
Oh, funny, like Jack Black or something.
Oh, Jack Black. There we go.
Isn't that good? It's
okay,
so
that
perfect.
That is the cast.
The family. We've cast the movie. Who's Steven?
Oh, yes. We need Steven.
Oh, my gosh.
How could...
Somebody that's a famous chef. You know what I mean? We need it. We got to pull in somebody from one of those shows, from the famous chef shows. Who's the guy that... not with the blonde spiky hair, but the other guy. He's on TikTok too. He's blonde. Anyway,
I feel like this question is getting too long for the podcast. Where it's too much.
That's all right. It was really worth it. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up with that. So
no, we need a Steven.
We need to cast Gordon Ramsay, a young Gordon Ramsay. Oh, what about Jamie Oliver?
Who's that?
He doesn't look that good. He doesn't look that good in this picture, but
then
you don't like. You don't like Gordon Ramsay? I think he's funny. Oh, I got it. The guy from The Bear.
Okay.
You like him?
Jeremy Allen White.
Yes. That's a taller version because I think that he seems like he'd be short to me, but yes. Perfect. We have the cast is ready.
Yeah. Give Jeremy Allen White a foot and there we go.
Okay, let's get to the green room. Production begins next week. Yours truly,
Helen and Juli.
This was really fun. If you enjoyed it, I don't know where we went. We went off the tracks, but we enjoyed it. Hope you did too. I wonder who's going to be the cast in your family. It's a fun game to play. Yes, Julie, do you have something you want to say?
Shout out to Michael for the questions and for Steven for some of the questions too. Couldn't have gotten through this episode without you guys.
It's really, really appreciated. And you know where to find us on our social media, but leave us a little review or click the little 5 stars, because I think it rises us to the top of the food chain in the podcast world. We really appreciate it, and we're having so much fun doing it. So thanks for being with us, and thanks for your time wherever you're listening. And if you have a topic idea for us, we're always up for it. You can submit questions and we'll just do blind questions for each other too. We like that. Bye.
Bye.